So grab your drink of choice and let's dive down some rabbit holes. Cheers.
You're saying, I wish that situation would be investigated further.
No, to be investigated. Period.
Period.
It was never investigated. Hype was never questioned. Lenny Kravitz made a statement, and it was never publicized. She was unconscious. She didn't choose to get on that plane. There were phone calls made. There are witnesses who signed NDAs. Why would you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement about a plane crash and what happened leading up to it? Please, someone answer that. A plane crash should be accidental.
Should be.
Why would any testimony about what happened leading up to it need to be covered under a non-disclosure agreement if there wasn't foul play? There were over 25 non-disclosure agreements cashed out regarding the death of that beautiful girl and every other human being that died on that plane with her. And Diddy and Jay-Z.
If Big doesn't die, do you get a Puff Daddy the way he turns out now?
Fuck no.
Does Big keep Puff in check?
Oh, absolutely. Big and Kim. Kim had she had the little babies. Junior Mafia loyal to Kim. What else was there? Biggie, Kim, Junior. What else was there? Total, Kima, my friend, love her to death. Total couldn't carry that. 112 couldn't carry that. Carl Thomas couldn't carry that. They were all able to survive because of the dynasty that came with Big and Junior Mafia.
Today, we're going to be diving into some creepy, disturbing TikToks regarding Jaguar Wright and the many, many bombshells she has to drop on the music industry.
So, Jag, before we bring up these big names, let me ask you, why go after the big names? They may have the power to silence you going after them.
Because guess what? If I win, then I win. But I'd rather go down losing with a voice. It might embolden other people to come forward and speak up. And see, one Jaguar Wright is a problem. Imagine 1,000.
You seem to have opened up. Again, we just spoke with Jonathan Hay, and he thanked you for bringing his voice to light because he has stories that goes way back to the early days of Rihanna.
That's my job.
And he said you gave him the courage.
What did I tell y'all when we first sat here? I'm going to keep talking until everyone else is so loud that they can't hear me. Oh my God, listen to me, them damn. How Kim Kardashian let Bieber steal her man? Like, has it gotten that bad?
I think so.
Getting cherry picked by the Bieber? The fuck he learned at that flavor camp?
Hold on, I want you to see this. Wait a minute. There you go, right there. I mean, he was down low too.
Mouth wet.
Justin sucked better than she do. Yeah, the video is 6 years old, but y'all gotta understand. You get in the club, you get drunk, you get horny. They not think they wasn't thinking. They got caught. Damn.
Kim was one one of the first girls who was brave enough to get tapes and get what she needed to get. You understand? This is commerce. This is bank exchange on flesh and pride and ego. Tamika knew she could get Usher because she had evidence of what he was doing with the diddler. And guess what? Rather than going to the police and doing the right thing when that boy drowned on Lake Lanier, Usher did nothing for his stepchild. Matter of fact, I know for a fact he paid money to have that investigation shut down. And there has been talks that she was willing to sacrifice her child to get ahead. Now, don't forget, not long after that, she went into the coma. You remember she's in the coma? Because she got banished off. She had to get that plastic surgery cheap. She did. That's why she went out of country. Because she was told over here in the States that nobody would perform that ceremony. It was too dangerous for her, that surgery. It was too dangerous for her, and that went somewhere else. She kept going until she got somewhere with it, and they fixed up real good. And guess what? Not long after that, her and Usher was over. Yeah. Wasn't no love there. It's blackmail.
It's funny when you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
That belongs to the devil. Calling that the devil. She ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
Half of which dumbass bitch. Nobody want to accept that bitch.
I think
she went and killed the girl Cats. A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. You know, snacking on his bitch, killing people cats. They wouldn't give her a restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician and she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls. Impulse control issues? I don't know. Tyler Perry told his male actors they're not allowed to consort with me. Because I saw you at a Diddy party, Tyler. And you were having a glorious time. I spent a lot of time in Miami and I snuck around Star Island quite a bit. I know Christian isn't lying, but I need him to tell me what happened to my friends. And I don't care how long it's been since I talked to them. They will always be my friends. Always. Tim and Durrett and Lamont Rucker were not the same after they went on camera with Tyler Perry. Christian, I think you can tell me why. Hit me up. Can you please tell me why they were directed by Tyler Perry to never speak to me again? The first time you heard me say that Sean Combs was a sex trafficker and you said I was a liar because I was jealous, because I wasn't his girlfriend, because I wasn't successful in the music industry, because I didn't have a hit record, because I didn't live in a mansion, because I didn't have diamonds. You said all of these things about me because I told the truth.
That's
You
real.
disgrace my name, my legacy, my family. You stalked, you hunted me. You harassed my friends. You put pressure on my personal relationships to the point where I had to completely disassociate myself from the whole life just so I could carry the burden of the truth. And I took that shit on the chin. There are 3 women I know right now in my life. They've been in my life for 6 years. I got them off of Epstein Island. I cannot say where they are in the world. What I can say is when they got into the boat, they were roughed. Want to know how they ended up on Epstein Island? They auditioned to be models for music videos.
Oh, casting couch.
When they got to Miami, they had to show and turn over their ID, and they collected their passports. And then the next thing you know, they were in a storage container getting by a bunch of weird strangers on camera who were bidding for all of the terrible things that were happening to them live online. After they made it through that, that's when they were sent to Rick Ross's music videos as groupies and extras to make sure that they could walk around in society without looking like victims.
Have you ever been to a P. Diddy party?
Yeah, several, many.
And so, can you take us through, like, what goes on, like, when you were there?
Money and sex.
Were you surprised that there were so many cameras in his houses?
No.
So let me ask you, when you hear that Cassie was told to hire male escorts to come in what they call freak-offs now,
Yeah.
is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak-offs.
Hey, everybody know that. I've been saying it.
So why does Puffy, why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup? Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and fucking took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Let me ask you about Corey Gamble. He was at Kim Porter's death scene.
Yeah, I know. And he was also the nigga that took Tory Lanez to Kylie's house to fake shoot Megan Thee Stallion. Corey Gamble is Justin Bieber's former tour manager, which taught Kris Jenner how to be a tour manager so that she could take over the financial responsibility for all of Kanye West shows and remove Sean G. Yeah, Corey Gamble has been a plant for a long time. Everybody knows it. He's probably the one that groomed Justin and make him so pliable so that they could pimp him out at all these damn music festivals. He would be the right guy for the job. You can sue me, Cory. Kathy White's life was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming. And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper It's just a little worse than most people think. And maybe he just had to clean it up to protect the brand, see? I mean, I'm just speculating.
Kathy Coriana White. I found this one particularly interesting because it was all shades of messy. Around 2010 and 2011, rumors of Kathy being in a relationship with Jay-Z were spreading like wildfire. Rumors only got stronger when she was spotted at a party with Jay-Z and Diddy at a club. The club party seemed to confirm that the rumors of the affair, and listen, the tabloids went off. It was the worst because this happened only a couple of days after Beyonce announced that she was pregnant with Blue Ivy. Jay-Z was dragged for Phil for cheating on Beyonce again, and numerous tabloids tried to get in touch with Kathy to hear her side of the story. But to everybody's surprise, she passed away less than 24 hours after the pictures hit the internet. Even more suspicious, her social media pages also disappeared after she passed, sparking rumors that she was unalive. People were quick to point fingers at Jay-Z for allegedly putting a hit on her. Even though nothing was ever proven against him, it all remains an unfounded rumor and mystery. Still, now one thing nobody could deny was that her death didn't seem natural. The first autopsy report claimed that she had died from a wound to the head, but the second autopsy report claimed that she had suffered an aneurysm and passed away from it. Now I know that aneurysms can be sneaky and sneak up on you without previous warning, but it does kind of seem sus that the cause of death would change so drastically. I mean, from a physical wound to an aneurysm? Yeah, that's just kind of sketchy.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on. And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z. And then, you know, he starts clienteling with Tupac and clienteling with Biggie and doing songs with Biggie and building a working, you know, camaraderie with Honeycombs. I mean, Diddy. Like I said, Biggie died, Tupac died. And then there was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z. And then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game, and it's all Jay-Z. All Jay-Z. And he was working with R. Kelly, and they were making so many records together. You know, they made all of those records together. They both fucked Aaliyah. They shared so much in common. You know? And then Aaliyah died. Is it really a conspiracy if the same person keeps benefiting off the same kind of tragedy over and over and over again?
I used to do the Rush philanthropic events at Russell's house in the Hamptons.
I didn't know you did. I don't remember that.
That was the last time me and Kimora actually socialized. You know, me and Kimora were pregnant at the same time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
When I did the gig, that last gig, Dick Gregory was there, Rosie Perez was there. I think Meryl Streep was supposed to come through, and I think Martha Stewart did stop by. It was a really interesting night. Great silent auction. Rosie Perez ran the silent auction. Kimora was pregnant. I had just had Sam. Sam was maybe a month. And I was asking, you know, Kimora, was she excited? Because she was going to be due at the end of the year. She said, oh, no, I'm having this baby in August. And I'm like, well, how are you doing that? You're like barely 5 months. And then that's when she told me about how their doctor had been feeding this little girl steroids so that her organs would develop faster so that Kimora could give birth before 30 weeks so she wouldn't get stretch marks.
Wow.
And of course, Kimora offered me her plastic surgeon. I declined. And that's when I knew it's this just some bullshit, yo.
All right. Despite what a lot of people may think about this woman, for her to know so many things and to exploit the industry in such a way, she can't just be making this up. And she's not crazy. If you think she's crazy, I think you're diluted. But this lady, this woman, is speaking her truths, dropping these bombshells, trying to wake up people from their slumber.
Did she really give birth to Blue Ivy, or is that Solange?
I know. Everybody knows. And ain't nobody seen that surrogate since.
So who's Blue Ivy real mama?
Well, I believe it was all in vitro. It's Beyonce's egg.
Okay.
Y'all just remember back at that time, she had just started learning how to manage her weight. She was a solid 16 when she was at the end of Destiny's Child. The meal plan that she's on is only 1,200 calories a day still.
Damn.
And with all of that exercise that she does, that's why she's usually treated for exhaustion and dehydration 2 or 3 times a year. You gotta ask yourself, what kind of fucking woman keeps an IV in her bedroom? Kim! Remember? He was waiting. The casket was ready. She was literally casket ready.
Probably got one of the hottest DJs off of Hot 97.
And she said, you didn't see this part, she said, no, Ben, I love you. And Puffy, I love you too. I adore that we're the last 2 people on earth who refer to him as Puffy.
Really? Remember, I am hip-hop.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny how when men get older in hip-hop, they're still, well-respected, well-versed, Kool Herc, you know what I'm saying, and Red Alert, and, the legends, KRS-One. You put me in there, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, Wendy's a talk show lady. No. I listened to Big L on the way to work this morning.
When we were younger, you were hearing your left ear, and that was considered straight, and hearing your right ear, that would be gay, and then at one point, people started wearing both earrings, and
And then they started wearing girl pants, and then they're wearing jeggings, and then, yes, it's very effeminized, but be very clear. There were lots of homosexuals in hip-hop back in the 80s, too. That was what's worse, hip-hop wearing skirts or hip-hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny, which is your sexuality. So I hear with Jamari.
Why in God's name would the industry force him into a group with the biggest head in the world? He found sobriety, and now you're around someone who's snorting in front of you all day, all night. That's like saying we're gonna do an intervention for Diddy and we're gonna make him and R. Kelly roommates. Are you kidding me?
Bruno Mars may be being exploited by a major casino in terms of his residency whilst exploiting his vices.
Jaguar Wright is back again, and this time she jumped on an explosive tell-all interview and revealed some sinister things about Bruno Mars and why he disappeared from the industry. This comes after Bruno was exposed for allegedly being broke and owing over $50 million. It's unclear how exactly Bruno managed to blow through this much money, but according to Jaguar, the industry had something to do with it, and that's why Bruno ran away from the industry.
Mark of the beast will be in the hand or in the head. The Neuralink is a chip that gives the human brain the ability to operate and function like a computer. Elon will hook you up, get you all AI ready. You don't even need a phone to make phone calls anymore. You don't have to use computers anymore. This is where the world is going. Motorola said last year, starting 2030, all cell phones will be bio inside your right hand. Chip in your head, chip in your hand. It says it in the Bible.
I don't care what this technology will offer. I am not getting a chip in my head nor in my hand. And that's because of my faith. And also, I don't want some foreign technology or depth switch in my head or my hand. I don't follow the rules well. So they would probably turn my chip off instantly as soon as I disobey. Now, let me know your thoughts. Are you willing to get a chip in your hand or your forehead?
Let's just keep it all the way 100. All of the hottest female rappers are all ex-strippers. They don't write their rhymes, allegedly. This is playing make-believe at its highest level. But the women ain't ghostwriting they shit. It's niggas. Niggas writing these bitches shit. All of these women are out here buying into all of the shit that all of these bitches is saying that's being written by a dude. This is a dude's perspective on how a woman should be talking, and then the other women listen to her and be like, ooh, that's how she talking. That's how I'm talking, girl. Yeah, girl.
Hold up.
Who the fuck's powering who? I don't call that empowerment. I call that impimpment. You ain't empowering shit. Nigga is spitting old fucking pimp shit and juicing it up and putting a bitch word here, there. You spitting it out on his behalf. Like, for real, when you look at it, these ghostwriters is pimps and the artists are they bottom bitches. Try to gatekeep on me again, Wallow. I'll tell everybody what Birdman did. Gil, you gonna sit there and tell my little brother that mentioning my name is gonna hurt his career when I'm promoting him? What album you put out, Wallow? What album Gil put out? If he had stayed his black in Philadelphia and doubled down on major figures, maybe he wouldn't have got touched up by the Birdman. Cause there is no young man that made their way through that man's that didn't get. You think Weezy only got on her? You kidding me? The kind of that'll leave his brother in jail and then show him no real support when he gets home. If he over his own brother, why wouldn't he up other people's kids? I don't understand. But I tell you this, Wallow, the next time you open your mouth and my name comes out of it, it better be with only respect. Because I know that you with and they talk heavy and I pay in cash. I'm going to say two names. Usher, Chris Brown. You put the two of them on the stage and Usher will disappear the second that Chris Brown starts working his gambit. If you go through my Instagram feed on my big page, Jaguar Wright, you go back to 2015, you'll see footage of me at a Chris Brown Trey Songz concert in San Jose. The reason why it sticks out for me was because it was the first night I turned down a backstage pass because I wanted to be in the audience when Chris hit the stage. The reason why it was so special to me because I was there with my ex-boyfriend, who's a professional dancer, who was a part of a dance crew, legendary dance crew on the West Coast called the Housing Authority. One of the members, the lead member, Richmond, who they call him Richmond after his town, is Chris Brown's choreographer. Richmond invited me and Jammer to the show that night. I wasn't invited by Chris. I was invited with the man that invents his dance steps. Much different. I could have went backstage. Trey Songz was cool. Everyone had a decent time. And he did his set and there were applause and it was cool. And it came time for the both of them to perform together. They were supposed to be singing duets. And Trey is on the stage and he's doing his thing. Chris is on the side of the stage laying on a bench. Jumps up out of nowhere, comes down. Next thing you know, Trey Songz disappeared. And Chris is sitting over here, was like, and everybody screaming from their song. And at the end of the night, Chris had to remind the audience to clap for Trey Songz. Imagine what a diminishing moment that night was. There was like 35,000 people there. And they had to be reminded to clap for a motherfucker that had been on stage for at least 90 minutes. Y'all don't forget to clap for Trey. Come on, give it up for Trey. The crowd has spoken. That was a Chris Brown show. And it also was a magic act because we watched Chris Brown make a whole so-called R&B star disappear right in front of our very eyes. He didn't even move, just disappeared.
He didn't even move.
Now imagine what that would look like next to Usher. No different.
Ask me what Usher and Trey Songz have in common.
What do Usher and Trey Songz have?
They've been to the flavor camp with the diddler.
Trey Songz definitely been to the flavor camp. Yeah. Trey Songz definitely has
With the diddler.
Yeah.
Hold on.
The Diddy doo-wop bop.
Yeah. You're saying, I wish that situation would be investigated further.
No, to be investigated. Period. It was never investigated. Hype was never questioned. Lenny Kravitz made a statement, and it was never publicized. She was unconscious. She didn't choose to get on that plane. There were phone calls made. There are witnesses who signed NDAs. Why would you need to sign a non-disclosure agreement about a plane crash and what happened leading up to it? Please, someone answer that. A plane crash should be accidental.
Should be.
Why would any testimony about what happened leading up to it need to be covered under a non-disclosure agreement if there wasn't foul play? There were over 25 non-disclosure agreements cashed out regarding the death of that beautiful girl and every other human being that died on that plane with her. And Diddy and Jay-Z. Takeoff's death wasn't nothing but a corporate hostile takeover using his life as the goddamn... Oh my God.
Man, RP Takeoff.
That boy died so they could cash in a motherfucking insurance policy and to cover up the fact that Roc Nation was ripping Megan away from 300. I guess nobody's paying attention to the fact that complete control of Megan Thee Stallion's career was taken over right after Takeoff died. And the Prince family were forced to leverage and let her go, even though they did not want to. Isn't that interesting?
Houston politics.
And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying Sean Carter, you're taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. Why the fuck did that house burn up? Who the fuck goes to their childhood house for a visit and the shit goes up in flames?
That was very weird.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames. I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for that fucking Astroworld shit. My advice to any female who wants to get into this business, have a thick skin, do not drink alcohol, never get high in front of anybody, keep somebody close to you that you know at all times. Summer. Has anybody bothered to ask why she all of a sudden became claustrophobic and couldn't perform anymore? Because she had anxiety? Yeah, she got anxiety. Somebody touched her. I don't know it for a fact, but I seen it I heard it I know the sound. I can look in a woman's eyes and tell when she been touched. She don't trust none of the people that she around, so she just gonna stay off the road, you see.
All right, that wraps up another one for the HFC podcast. Thank you again for being here as we dive down these rabbit holes, these creepy, disturbing TikToks. This was a very intriguing segment on Jaguar Wright. She has and have a lot of bombshells that she's been dropping, is dropping, and I'm sure more to come. She exposes the industry for what it really is. And rest in peace, Aaliyah, a beautiful soul who's taken from us because of these industry demonic devils. As always, stay safe in these dark, deceptive times. HFC out. Peace.